Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Joe. My channel is Higher Forge, but you probably already clicked on it, so you know what the name of the channel is. I'm a beginner knife maker. I've been doing it for about a year and a half, 2 years. Become a real passion of mine. I learn something every time I come out here. Unfortunately, I work for a living, so that's evenings and weekends, and I get a call in for lunch or supper. But my wife's very understanding about it. She knows how much I love it. I figured I would share some of the stuff I've learned and done so far, thanks to many great knife makers out there. YouTube is a training course that is free to everybody. If you've got some skills, can do some things, have a shop, have a few tools. This was my first knife. I had a right angle grinder, a couple of files, and a whole lot of steam. And it took a whole lot of steam. That's a heavy knife. It's a lot of steel. I wanted to keep it. It's a good shop knife. I sharpen it when I need sharpening. I learned a lot on heat treatment, tempering, different steels. There's a whole lot to it, a whole lot more than I kind of anticipated when I jumped in it, but I enjoyed learning it. Still learning every time I come out here. I started out with minimal tools. I've worked my way up to have a little better stuff, make it go a little easier and a little faster. You know, it's always, if you got to spend, 2 months with sandpaper and files, you're going to get bored with it pretty quick. You want to see your finished product done in some kind of timely manner. But don't get me wrong, making handmade knives, unless you've got the best of everything and been doing it for 10 years, it's going to take you a couple of weeks to get one done and right. Sometimes, I watch these knife makers and, man, how do they do that? How do they get that done so quick and stuff? But you really don't know from the video whether it was done in 2 days or 3 days or 2 weeks, because they can edit it and put it all together, So you get to watch a full knife build and all their techniques in about 40 minutes. That's the beauty of television, I guess. For me, I don't get in a hurry. I do it till I'm happy with it. If I'm not happy with it, I start over. I put it in the pile of coulda beens and move on. I've learned enough. I can, make a good straight knife, put on a pretty good looking handle and sheath, and make someone happy with it. Make a few dollars to pay for my supplies, and that's pretty much what the passion's been. And I thought, well, YouTube, why not? I'll give it a shot. See what it'll end up being like. As you can see, I've got a lot of things in the works right now. A lot of knives I'm working on. I move from one to the other. I never stay on one till it's done. That's no fun. I like having a bunch of projects going on and working on them, and keeps me from getting bored for sure. It took me a while to figure out how do you put two trees together and make them look right and match right and all that, but it's doable. Takes a little bit of time and perseverance, but when you get it right and end up with it, you're happy with it. And then you can hopefully make somebody else happy with it. Out in the forge, if you get too bored, you get you some leaf coil spring, you beat out a couple dragon heads, and you're ready to go back making knives, trust me. But there's no limit to the stuff you can do in a forge, in a shop. Like I said, I started out with the minimal tools just like most people do. Fortunate enough to have some resources and all that stuff to help me move along and get better with it and have better stuff. But it's taken a while, but I'm getting to a point now where I'm pretty efficient with it. Back here in the back, I'll show you. I watch Mr. Brian House. He's got some good videos out on his house-made 2x72 grinder. Well, what he does is he gives you every measurement of every piece of metal you need to build the thing. Or you can buy his plans for very reasonable price, like $35 or something. You can get it, and it prints to size on your printer. You can just, you know, paint them on there, glue them on, and cut them out and put it together. I happen to be a welder, so do some welding, and I have a welder, so I was able to weld it together and do everything. And it's been a real good addition to the shop for sure. Saves a lot of time. Got my forge. I got my anvil over there. You get tired of beating on an anvil some, and what you probably will end up doing if you have the resources to do it is build you a forging press. And I was fortunate that my neighbor is somewhat of a hoarder like myself, and he had a whole lot of 4x4 inch tubing and 6x6 and heavy angle iron and stuff that he donated to me, and put the press together, and it's proven a lifesaver for these old shoulders. I guarantee you that. Got some modifications to do on it. Want to make it a little prettier. It's pretty rough, but she's holding together good and working good, and I guess that's what matters. You got Redbeard Ops. He's on the YouTube channel, and he did a whole review on this Win knife sharpener. And I was pretty impressed. You know, I could get an edge on a knife, but it just wasn't like what they show them. They're just slitting it through this paper and making it go, you know. And mine hung up some, I gotta tell you. And I put that thing to use. And if you're a knife maker, you know what a foil edge is on the end of a knife, and that thing will give it to you, and you can strop it off of there, and you can shave that paper like it's supposed to be. And I also have found out I got some 2500 grit belts that go on my 2x72 that'll give you the same thing too. And it sure cuts down some time and makes it a good sharp knife. Been getting into a little bit of Damascus. I did my first over 100 layer Damascus, working on it now. Matter of fact, I just pulled it out of the forge and got my hot stamp on it. Trying to get it in the camera for you. It's probably still hot, that's why I'm doing it that way. Nope, it's done cooled off, so that's pretty cool. Got it cooled off. Got my maker's mark in there. Kind of hard to get it in the thing. A couple of good friend of mine's wanted some good hefty Damascus skinners, so I had played with a little bit of Damascus, but I'm getting into higher layers now, and I etched it once already, and it's looking pretty sweet. I think they're really going to like them. It'll be hidden tang, antler handles, and some brass pommel nuts on them probably. It's working out pretty good. Bought this here porta bandsaw, made one of them little, they call them swag tables. I call some of the used steel in the shop getting used like it should be. But I made that setup, and that's a lifesaver on trimming handles and metal and different stuff too. But I just wanted to touch base with y'all this evening, let you know about my channel, who I am, where I come from, where I'm trying to head. And if you'd like to take the journey with me, I sure appreciate you watching. And if you can give me a like and a subscribe, that'll help the channel keep going. And remember, heat some steel and create. I'm out.